a seductive lady with a wicked touch. Find out who Selene is as I hereby summon all my imps to join me on my adventures through Marvel Snap. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. The brand new card coming out today is going to be Selene. We're going to talk about her background, her powers, and how she works in the game. Let's start off her background. Selene is the oldest known mutant, functionally immortal. Her millennia-long life is attributed to her ability to drain the life essence from other beings to extend her own existence. Claiming to have already been old when the modern mankind was just emerging and born over 17,000 years ago. Selene was responsible for establishing the hidden Amazon city of Nova Roma, a city filled with 2,000-year-old Roman citizens. There she founded the cult of fire as its black priestess, promising eternal life. This all turned out to be a massive illusion used to hold onto its citizens and bring in British and American tourists who she would kidnap to keep young. Selene then traveled to the Americas after the illusion and the cult were broken. There she approached the Hellfire Club in New York. At first, they did not want to let her join. She then captured two very high-ranking members in a bid for power. After they saw how powerful she was, Selene was accepted into the Hellfire Club as the Black Queen. It has tried numerous attempts to overthrow the current leader, the Black King, Sebastian Shaw. Selene remains extremely ambitious and deceitful. At one point, she helped a group of hedonistic young mutants by getting them to kill off other mutants. Although she never directly participated in these plots, she enjoyed the benefits quite well. She should always be approached with extreme caution, as absorbing the life force from somebody who trusted her is one of her favorite pastimes. Her powers. Selene can drain the life force of other beings into herself by physically touching them. She delights in draining the entire life force from them into her, making her victims' bodies crumble into dust. It is unknown how often she has to drain the life force from others in order to survive, and how often she drains the life force just because she can. Selene's ability to drain the life force from others is represented in Marvel Snap by her pulling power from cards in each player's hand. She is a -1 power, whose ability is on reveal affects the lowest power card in each player's hand, yours and the person you're playing against, with -3 power. I give her a 5-star ranking of 2. Alright, let's talk about some of the things that I think is interesting to go over with her, and why I believe she falls into the 2 range. Let's get this looked at in here a second. So some of the cards that I think you gotta really look at with her, and some of the cards you gotta compare her with, is you gotta kind of compare her with Iceman. And to a certain degree, you actually gotta compare her more with Spider-Ham. So, old original Spider-Ham used to target the highest card in somebody's hand. The highest power. This is literally doing the opposite. It's targeting the lowest power in their hand. So, you gotta... Spider-Ham was really good when he was a 1-1 who used to do this. Mostly because they got something powerful out of their hand. And partly because it got you information. Now, Selene won't give you the information. But there are certain cards that work well with her. The first card that works well with her is the card that everybody basically knows does good work well with her. And that's pretty much the Annihilus. So if you have the Annihilus, he goes into that Annihilus deck. He works perfectly well with Annihilus. A lot of stuff she does works well with Annihilus. But unlike Havoc last week, who really needed to go into an Annihilus deck, I think she can fit into a few other decks pretty well. First of all, I'm going to look at the hood here. You could basically hold on to the hood, play her down 2-3 times with some bounce deck, and really make this hood a big power swing, and then on turn 5, drop down the hood once it's gotten to being -9, and swing it over with the Viper. Another one that's kind of interesting is, of course, the one that everybody's been talking about, is Green Goblin. You play her down, you have the Green Goblin in your hand, it makes the Green Goblin basically equal to a Hobgoblin. Now, you could put the Hobgoblin into your hand if you really wanted to, and make it a -11. That's almost overkill for that, though. Because that's basically equaling out to being the Sentry's Void at that point. A better Sentry's Void. But other cards that you gotta look into when playing this is you don't need to worry as much about what you get as what your opponent gets. Because if you hit something like Iron Man on your opponent's side, they are just gonna cry. Where if you've got something low in your hand, like say the hood, you don't care. You can just hold on to this the entire game and not care if you play. Another one that people talked about is Black Widow. You basically kick over the Widow's fight, and you play down the card at the same time. The Sarah at the same time. And you basically turn this into a 0 -4, and either they have to play it and put -4 on their own side of the board, or they're not trying for the rest of the game. Problem unless you're really putting something in there, like the Psylocke to push ahead. You're gonna have a hard time getting that all out on this turn. Now, Psylocke's not the worst thing to put in this deck either if you wanted to play with her. Because even if you catch Psylocke with this, you can play down the Psylocke and then kick it over with the Viper and something else and not be that upset about it. Because that's the thing. You're still giving them a -1 on their side of the board with that. So maybe you play that down and then you kick over with the Viper. Or you wait to turn 4 and you play both on turn 5. So you go into 5 and you get the 1 extra from Falcon, and you play both the Black Widow and the Viper on the 5. So it's not a worst idea in the world. Also, an interesting kind of funny one that I looked at was Morph. If you hit your Morph with the Selene 2 times, 3 times, 6 times, 12 times, it doesn't matter. Once you play it down, it's going to change into one of your opponent's cards. So you could actually make them suffer by playing down the Selene once or twice before turn 3 or 4. And then as long as it doesn't hit the card that got nerfed, that got the power sucked off of it, then it's just going to be a random card from their deck. It's an interesting card to throw into a Selene deck of throwing them off that I don't think a lot of people have looked into. And here's the other thing, if you want to, you can just throw a Magneto in your deck. If Magneto is the lowest card in your deck, then every time you play the Selene, it, knocks stuff off of it, but even a Magneto at 9 is not the worst idea in the world. You can use the same idea if you want to with the Morph synergy. With Null. Null just doesn't care. Null has no caring about what his power is. So you can actually make a deck where you play the Selene and you play the Hood and you basically kick stuff like that over and kill something and hope they kill it, and then you get the power off the Null. Also, be aware of Absorbing Man, because Absorbing Man can kick this also. So playing Selene into Absorbing Man means that the Absorbing Man still is going to be a 4 by himself and still gives -3. So I think she's a really good card. I think she's a better card than 2 really gives her credit for being a 2-star, but she's not good enough to fall into the 3 category yet. She's a tech card through and through, but she's a nasty tech card. And I think you can slide her into more decks than just the toxic junk deck that everybody thinks you can put her into. You can put her into that, but you guys in other places. Also, a little bit notable thing here. I was going through this looking for all this. This might be a counter to Professor X. You're tired of seeing Lockdown beat you every single time? There's a good chance that Professor X is the lowest cost card in their deck. You hit their Professor X, it's going down to -2. I highly doubt they're playing that Professor X at that point. Even with Jeff the Baby Lazarus, that still brings this only up to 1 when everything is said and done. So, for the other stuff in this particular week, we've got Iron Man, who I really hope I don't get this week because I really hate this variant. But Iron Man is a generally decently good card. Fits into a lot of decks. If you like to play anything that's on reveal, he helps out. He's basically throwing an extra copy of one of your cards into your deck. And the other one is Black Knight. Black Knight, I don't care. I don't care if his sword is now indestructible. I still say he's a 1-star. Too clunky to work. Too many parts to work. You're asking for so much to work. That sword becoming indestructible didn't really do anything for him. So if you don't have Iron Lad, you might want to roll for this deck. But if you have Iron Lad already, I might skip this week and wait for her to come back around on another round. I don't think she's worth enough for you to get her right now if you have the other two taken from you. Even if all you have is Iron Lad taken from you like I do, I wouldn't roll if I was me, but I do this for content. So, let's find out what's in the box. What's in the box? Let's all find out what's in the box. Boxes! Riverdale! Knew I would get that one. Hate that variant. Ugly variant. I'll be making a deck on it this Friday, so if you want to watch there, I'll be glad to see you then. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, play full of fun.